Something About Mary.
Yeah.
For some reason, it just stuck with me. So we are live. We are kind of early. When I do it, I mean 9 o'clock is the prime time. We've got a couple people in. They usually start streaming in within about 4 or 5 minutes. But welcome, David, Mr. Luxurious Lux.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I think I've mentioned this to you. I know you don't do a lot of these, so I was pleasantly surprised and thankful that you agreed to come on. I do appreciate it more than I can say. And we've got Justin Bellin here.
Good customer right there.
Oh, yeah?
Orders just about every week. Same with Al. Yep.
Yeah, hey, Justin, I find it difficult to order a lot because I have to order a lot just to keep on getting new product in to do reviews. So I end up not being able to buy what I want to buy because I've got to buy, what's coming up. And as much as I'd like to, I can't do a luxurious bastard review every week. I do have to say you are my favorite company. I know I've said it a number of times in videos. If I had to choose one company and one company only, and that's all I could use from here on in, you'd be the guy.
Hell yeah. And, now, can I ask why, like as a customer, why would you say that or choose that?
Well, first of all, when I first started buying products, and especially when I then started doing reviews, I think you've heard me say this, I would be trying out a product and say, now, why isn't this one my favorite? It's great. Everything, it's styling beautifully. My beard is super soft. Why is this better than Lux's? And then I'd put yours in the following day and I'd say, okay, I get it. It works perfectly for me. Perfect, soft feeling beard. The scents are terrific. And you were, as far as beard oil, my first love. So,
sweet. I was a little bummed out that I saw your purge video the other day and I was like, oh, please, I hope there's no Lux in there. I was like, dang it.
And something I should have explained a little bit more in detail, how long I had those oils in the bad conditions I left them in. Those were 2 years old and they were left in a bathroom that gets 80
pretty hot
degrees. Yeah.
Hotter
during the summer, windows open. Hey, Gary. So I didn't really consider that until I saw your post. And then I was like, you know what? I should have explained a little bit more. I thought I mentioned that these were oils that I had forever, but I didn't consider the idea. I was mentioning oils that I really loved and was sad to see go. And, it was not a reflection on the product.
You have, was that your only Bilberry, and what was the other one?
It was Bilberry and Baked Bastard.
Baked. Oh yeah, I haven't done baked in forever.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned that's one that I really love, but I love it in the winter and when I'm in the mood for it. And I just, plus always doing reviews. DNB, you haven't tried them yet. You're missing out. Always doing reviews. Like I said, I don't get a chance to use, I've got probably 100 oils that I absolutely adore that I haven't put in beard in months.
Well, I'll get you I think I'm actually pouring Bilberry tomorrow. So after this, I'll get you like a 50% off on an oil so you can replace that bad one. Or, the one that you had a long time. I don't want to.
The one that I had a long time.
It went bad. Yeah.
No, I mean, I've had a number of oils. In fact, the day after I did that video, I went to grab another oil from doing that I knew I had forever. And I got it halfway in my beard before I realized it should have been in the video too. It's just one of those things. They don't last forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I know a lot of my customers, they buy so many. I'm like, there is no way, they're just buying them as like collecting them,
Yeah.
So even whatchamacallit, makeup and stuff goes bad after like a year or two. So
Yeah, pretty much anything. I just had a question, but I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. I've never spoken to someone that doesn't like your product, but I've spoken to a lot of people that have never tried it, and
yeah,
that's got to change.
yeah, we gotta get some new beards out there. And you know what? I
Absolutely.
don't do any advertisement. My only form of advertisement is Instagram, my small YouTube channel, and that's it. I mean, my Facebook and Twitter and all that, they're just linked to Instagram. So whenever I do a post, it just goes out.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's it. I don't
And
have
Justin
any
Bell asked if I did I get Blackbeard. No, I haven't
Blackbeard.
gotten Blackbeard. I don't remember what that scent profile was. Hey, Kentucky. I
What's
know.
up, Kentucky? I have the original Bastard and the Poseidon. Original is very nice barbershop. Poseidon is super unique. Not even really sure how to. Yeah, it's very different.
That's the aquatic one, and that's part
Yeah.
of the Norse collection too.
No, that one's just on its own. It's a very aquatic cologne type profile.
Okay.
That's the best way to describe it.
And Irish and Bearded mentioned he has 1912 Oudberry Bastard and Southern Bastard arriving tomorrow.
Yeah, those are some bangers right there. I haven't done the Oudberry or the Southern in a long time, and I think the Southern is only the third time I've ever done it. So that one is definitely a must-have. Have
In
you tried
fact,
those?
yes, in fact, the second time you put out Southern Bastard, I was on vacation, and I had heard that you sell out really quickly, especially with the Sunday drop. So I made a point of making sure I had a laptop with me and got to the hotel room for 3 o'clock to make sure I got in there and got it.
Yeah,
I
I
agree
have.
with Kentucky. Original is my favorite straight up barbershop.
mm, I have some customers tell me that they have to sneak into the bathroom, like they work on the weekends, and so 12 noon they're in there on their phone trying to place an order.
Yep. I mean, even recently, I just got Oudberry delivered a couple of days ago, and I had intended to get the butter as well, but I waited too long. I waited a week.
Yeah, I think that sold out within the butter at least. Actually, I think both of them sold out within about 2 to 3 days. The oil first. Oil always goes first, then butter follows, and then balm is always usually the last one to go.
In this case, I still could get the oil, but the butter was done.
Mm.
Sold out. In fact, Justin's mentioning that Blackbeard is a fruity scent.
Yeah, it does have the kicker in that is kumquat.
Okay, which
Yeah.
is basically orange.
Yeah, and it has the dark notes in it too. So it's very interesting when you first smell it because the kumquat comes in, and then the other notes that are so far from it, pick up the rear end.
Hey, Nick H.
Yep.
Now, I was looking at your website the other day and saw that you started in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And, it must be my age. When I saw 2017, I thought to myself, that was yesterday, but then I did the math, and that's a good 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Feels like 2 years ago. Yep.
I'll tell you, in my case, I went into business for myself in 2016, and I can't even remember what it was like to have a regular job.
Mm-hmm. Well, previously I used to work for the government out at Fort Irwin, training soldiers, different types of shifts and night shifts and day shifts, and it was fun. It was interesting. And then I started doing the beard stuff for myself because I'm sure you've probably heard this story before, where the company that I was buying stuff from, they stopped carrying like a cinnamon type profile that I really liked. So kind of looked into it, seen what they were using. Then I started looking at some of the other companies that were out at the time and looking at their carriers and trying to figure out what was what, and made my own blend. And slowly but surely, some of the people at my work, out at the base, beards were starting to become, seemed like maybe like 5 or 6 out of 10 were growing some type of beard. And lots of people were always asking, "Oh, what are you using?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's my own stuff."
Yeah.
And so, sold a few things here and there, and a couple of people that were buying stuff from, I think, like Beard Brand or something. They're like, "Man, you need to sell this stuff like yesterday." And just one thing led to another. And I think my big breakthrough was Scuba. He did a little review, me and Barbu. And after that, I remember I had like probably 1,000 orders that month, and I was just
really?
blown away. Yeah.
So that was the big
The
kicker
big
to
push.
get your name out there. I don't
Yeah.
see many videos for. I know he's got a couple of channels, and I've heard he's doing home improvement content, things like that. But I haven't seen, unless they're not just not showing up in my feed. I
Oh,
haven't.
yeah. I think he does them every once in a while now, but not like before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like a bearded review channel where he's like, yeah, fixing houses and working on cars. So
Yep. Well, good for him. And Al says Valhalla, Diamond Hand, and Blackbeard are so unique I can't explain, but all are fire. Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about reviewing your products. I often feel like I'm not up to the task. And
yeah, they're definitely not,
hey, Rock.
3 ingredient, super easy to like smell it and
Yeah.
go, okay, that's pine. Oh, that's lemon. Yep. I think most of my stuff is minimum like 5 or 6 ingredients. And then I have some that, like the 1912, the Woody that I retired back in the day, those were like 13, 14 different ingredients to make that profile.
Yeah, describing them is not always easy,
but
always enjoyable. So I'm surprised that you said on a military base there were a lot of beards. I would have thought, unless it was the civilian workers.
Yeah, the government contractors.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So
Diamond Hand is insane. Nice. Yeah, Diamond Hand you got that one too, right?
Yes, I did.
Yep.
Absolutely love it. In fact, I've got to try the Tobacconist again. When I first had it was during COVID, and often I had a mask and I was wearing it. So I love a strong scent, but inside a mask.
Yeah.
It was really strong. And I found that over time I'm getting better able to really appreciate and handle some of the more sophisticated scents. I mean, when you first start, it's one of my favorite reviews I ever saw was I think it was No BS Reviews reviewing 1912, and talked about how when he first tried it, it wasn't for him. He had to wear it 2 or 3 times to get to appreciate it, understand it, and that he absolutely loves it now. And that's sort of what I did. And I'm losing track here. So was it a big or hard decision to just call it quits to work in the day job and doing this full time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, when it boiled down to even my boss, I worked directly with my boss in the communications room, and he was looking at me bringing in stacks of orders, trying to like do stuff at work on night shifts. And he's like, he's like, if you put as much time in like a full-time job into that, he's like, you need to just quit here and do that full time. And so it was like sometime in early 2017, where I put my notice in and took it from the house. I didn't just go in, I went all in. Like I found a building, I got the LLC formed, millions of dollars in insurance, and dude, the things behind the scenes to be a legitimate business in California is absolutely ridiculous.
I've heard. I mean, that's probably why there's such a large group of companies coming out of Texas. And from what I hear, there's a large migration of folks from California to Texas
Going to
for
tell, yeah.
yeah. Now, is that something you'd ever consider, or just roots too
Oh
deep
yeah.
in
I'm
California?
I'm waiting for my kids to be old enough to where I can move out of California. If I can convince my kids to go where I want to go, we're a couple of years, I would hope to be out of here.
it,
Yeah,
in fact, it never even occurred to me, you being in California and having the rifle you have, isn't that a problem?
nope. It's fully legal because this actually has a Hellfire button. So in order to reload the mag, there's a button right here that you have to press that temporarily breaks the stock so you can't fire.
Okay,
Then it's California compliant.
okay. Yeah, I think it might have been. I lose track of how much time, but 20 years ago that you had to register everything, and then about 5 years later, where you had to disable the weapon or do something like you did.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's legal. Everything is registered and all that. So got to play
Now,
by the rules.
if you move to another state, can you remove that and
Hmm.
turn it back?
Oh yeah, I think it's like an $8 part to put in
Okay.
there.
Yeah. In
Yep.
fact, it's something Kentucky said a little
You
while
need
back. I don't know if I can find
special
it.
triggers.
Your nose will mature the longer you use it. And
Mm.
I found that too. The more I wear beard oils, the better able I am to discern and appreciate some things I might not have appreciated, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yep. Hmm.
So, anything new on the horizon for Luxurious Bastard?
Um,
And
just finished pouring Freya, which is going to release Sunday. That's the new. Think that's going to be the final for the Norse series. Um, and then I have some. We just did the Diamond Hand collaboration with the Dogecoin millionaire. But I finally was able to get a hold of Brent from Cerro Gordo. I'm sure you might have seen a few posts here and there or some stories, but been following that guy for a while, and he actually bought a whole ghost town and has been living in a ghost town for 2 years.
oh, really?
And I'm like, that's my spirit animal. I would love to do something like that. So I reached out to him and I'm like, look, you got. He doesn't have a big beard, but he has a decent, what I would call a business beard. And I was like, you know, I can't do a lot, but let me create a profile that represents Cerro Gordo and like the smells out there and whatnot. And I'm gonna donate half of the sale of Cerro Gordo profile when we do create it back to, Brent and the ghost town. So I'm like super excited about that. I'm gonna
I love
actually
it.
go out there and probably spend the weekend and kind of take it all in and do the profile after coming back from
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I love it. You're gonna go there and just be inspired
Yeah,
by the place.
and do whatever I can to help too. I'm a jack of all trades. I can do electrical and carpentry and you name it. So I'm gonna go out there and also bust my butt and help them out as much as I can before I pack it up and come home.
Yeah. And Joey Hookham just said, Ken and I want another BlackBerry scent profile. Okay. I guess
Blackberry
that's
scent.
a request.
Well, I
Daniel,
actually got the ingredients a couple, I don't know, maybe about a month ago to do another run of Graceful. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I don't. That might have
Yeah.
been before my time.
Yeah, the Graceful Bastard. It was a one that I did for my sister in Michigan, Place for Grace. And I think we ended up donating, gosh, it was a lot, like almost $23,000 to a Place for Grace, just using we did like
Right.
raffles and prize giveaways, and I donated 100% of the sales of Graceful to that. It was quite amazing. But
A-
so this time I'm going to remake it again, and just it's going to be for sale straight up.
And Kentucky's saying Graceful Bastard is really nice. In fact, I was trying to think back. I don't recall you ever offering a blackberry scent since I've been following you.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it might still be. It's not advertised on the site, but if you go to the search bar and type in Graceful, I think it might pop up.
Oh, just the scent profile, but not available.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. I'll definitely check
Yep.
that out. And do you want to take any questions from the chat if anyone has any?
Sure. Go for
So,
it.
folks, if you have any questions, feel free to toss them out there. Now, somebody asked what part of California you're from.
High desert. I'm about 45 minutes to an hour away from Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm between Los Angeles and Las Vegas. About 3 hours from Las Vegas.
Well, is it a really rural area or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty well populated. I mean, it's not congested or anything,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, not
yeah,
not like where I would want. I want acreage. I want to be able to go out onto my back patio and shoot liberty if I want, and the neighbors
yeah.
aren't calling the cops.
In
Out,
fact, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say out here, if I did anything like that, I'd be on the news and definitely be thrown in jail.
I can get away with it a little bit where I am. I've got a gun range that's about a mile off to the
Mm.
west, and I've got a couple of neighbors with little homemade shooting ranges set up.
Oh
So
wow.
they can't call the cops on me because I don't call them on them. But it's a little too congested for my taste. There are a lot of woods, but there are houses beyond those
Mm.
woods.
Yeah.
And Kentucky did ask a question. When will customs be back? They were actually back last weekend, right?
Yeah, I opened
For
it
a
up
few
like
hours.
randomly, just for oils only, just because I had enough time to do that, which I'm still working on them. But the full on customs like oil, butter, bombs, and all that, I'm probably gonna open it up in. I think typically July is when I do it again. Yeah.
Since I've been paying attention, I get the feeling it's 3 or 4 times a year thing. Is that
Yeah,
about right?
roughly, because they are every time I do it, it gets you know
More and more.
more and more crazy. Yeah,
I,
I think I, I think I took in about 40, 45 or 46 orders for just oils, but most orders have like multiple oils on it, different oils. So yeah, I'm probably gonna end up making over 100 different profiles again.
I can remember watching the Luxurious Lounge when you did the custom episodes
Uh huh.
a couple of years back, and watching them now, it's a little bit different. They're a bit longer. I mean, you've got
Hmm.
piles of oil,
Oh
and,
yeah.
and to get one of those extras that you make up, that's a real race. I
Yeah.
think you've got like 15, 20 seconds, and it's
Yeah.
over.
Yep. Yeah, but it makes it hard to when I put them up. I'm putting in the name for each one of them and putting in the quantity, which is usually only one. As I'm trying to save it, but in the meantime, I can see there's like 1,800 people on the website hitting refresh at the
Yeah.
same time I'm trying to save it, and man, it usually causes quantity issues for sure. Pretty amazing though.
I'll tell you, probably one of my probably is my favorite oil I've ever had. Is you named an oil the same oil, but it was oh, the Grove,
Sweet Grove.
Sweet Grove. Yes,
Uh
I
huh.
can't believe I can remember it. I think I've gone through 2 bottles of oil of Sweet Grove so far in the
That's
bomb.
good stuff. That's my behind the scenes funny story. That's my favorite oil to use after I do the floats. I do the hyperbaric chambers, where it's sensory deprivation.
Okay.
Have
Yep.
you ever heard of that? Yeah. So when I come out of the float, all your senses are like turned up, and the sweet grow for some reason. That's just I put it in, after rinsing the beard out, comb it out, and usually you walk outside and it's just like, oh, it's hard to explain. But the sweet grove will always be my after float oil of choice.
And I'm wondering, is the Sweet Grove you put out, as an oil, different than the one I ordered as a custom?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look at your custom versus what I made. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of times when I name the customs, I'll look at the ingredients that I use, kind of see what the customer is leaning towards, and then I'll smell it and like, okay, what is this? And that's how I name it. Usually, unless the customer's like, can you please put, peanut butter and jelly on it? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, and I've actually produced some, like the Southern was a custom, Bilberry was a custom. Um, I think TCVC was a custom. There's been a few customs that made it into a full run.
TCVC is got tobacconist is strong, but I think TCVC is right up there with it. I mean
Oh
that
yeah,
that is
yeah,
strong and deep, and
hmm
in fact, I might
yep,
wear it tomorrow.
yeah. The
Long
cherry that I
Kentucky.
use in that one, I actually get that from uh, where is it? I can picture that it's from the UK. I've tried all kinds of different cherries, and they just smell like a car air freshener. But this
Yeah,
black cherry that I get from this certain lady, that's what makes the TCVC, I think. Because without it, it's like it smells like Colombian.
gotcha. In fact, I don't even have to wait until tomorrow. I just realized I could put that over what I've got in beard now, and it's going to be the one that stands out. In fact, I'm wearing one of your customs now, Island. You did a
Mm,
green apple and coconut for me.
yeah, I remember that. I'm actually wearing a mixture of one that I haven't released yet called Plantation, mixed with Diamond Hand butter. Pretty
Okay,
good.
now is plantation the same one that I ordered?
No, this is a different one.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, the
Yep.
plantation I got was
That was probably a year and a half ago, wasn't it?
no, this one was only about 6 months ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Tobacco and peach. It was basically your Southern Bastard with tobacco instead of cinnamon.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. No, this plantation is a lot more complicated than that. I don't even think I have peach in it.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and
Dave's.
Russ says your Friday afternoon chill sessions are so relaxing.
Thanks, Russ.
And Justin Bell earlier was talking about how he's trying to get Daniel the Bearded on the Lex train.
Mm. Ken, if you like Sweet Grove, you got to try Berserker. Oh yeah, Berserker is probably in my top. I have like a top 10 that rotates a lot, so I would say Berserker is probably in the top 5 right now.
I don't remember what was in Berserker. I mean, I looked over all of them, and I got down to 6, and then I picked 2 out of the 6. And I'm pretty sure
See.
Berserker would have been one of them. And something I wanted to mention too. Some time ago, I did a silly little video about beard product companies. Uh, I'm trying to think of the word for it. Not swag, but shirts, hats, and all that. And I
Uh-huh.
basically graded. I just kind of picked 10 companies at random and graded them A through F. And at the time, you were the only one that got an A out of 10 companies. Because
Damn.
I found that a lot of companies don't respect the beard. They'll stick their emblem right where our beards belong.
Yep.
And I remember stopping on your website and saying, Lux isn't going to let me down on this. It's going to be just right. And I went on there, and Perfect.
Yep.
The emblem right where it belongs to the side with the big old emblem on the back.
And the newer ones, I actually switched from the logo in the front to just a nice, sleek, luxurious bastard company, logo on the back. And I've always complained about, I told my girlfriend a while back, I'm like, there's so many badass shirts out there where the logo's on the front.
Yeah.
The logo should be on the back. I always thought like logos on the front are like for kid t-shirts, I would probably have like 50% more wardrobe if half of the shirts I wanted, didn't have the freaking logo all in the front. And the beard, I cut off a lot. I actually cut off about 3 inches, but still, for the most part, it would be covering up the logo.
Yep. That was the whole point of the video. One company after another with the big old logo right in the front, F, 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 and then I got Deluxe, and it was an A.
Yeah.
And I noticed you've got a zip-up hoodie now, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got it's kind of like a heather OD green, super nice, and then the black and red with it's the same style with the flag on the side, the little luxurious bastard, and then the big kind of a patina aged flag on the back.
That's the red one?
The red one and the green one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And nice beard. It says he has Southern in beard tonight.
Nice.
In fact, my shipping was pretty close. Pretty quick, too. I had expected to wait a lot longer, given that you're in California, and I'm, on the East Coast. And it wasn't long at all. It was a lot shorter than I expected.
Sometimes the post office gets it right, 85% of the time. I have other ones where it's going to like, in California somewhere, and the customer is like, can you tell me why my package went to New Jersey first?
Yep.
I have no idea. Once it leaves my hands, I don't know what the post office does
Good night,
to
Daniel.
it. So here's the profile for Berserker. Lang Lang, Dark Jasmine, Freesia, Oris, Dark Vanilla, Leather, Oud, Ambergris, Musk, and Oak Moss. And
that probably was in one of the 6 I was looking at, because I didn't hear anything in there that scared me. The only things that ever scare me are cloves, cinnamon, and that's it.
And see, traditionally, I know a lot of people like to see like, what does it have in there? Cedar, eucalyptus, and all that. When I first started, I never put any of that stuff in there, because when you read that, it's like, okay, I don't know. So what I was doing originally is I would just describe it like how it smelled. And then I had a lot of people not complain, but they're like, hey, can you tell me what's actually in it? I read the description, but like what's in it? So, I don't know, maybe like a year ago, I started changing it from my description to like close your eyes and kind of imagine what it would smell like versus like just reading the list. So a lot of times I tell people, read the list, and like somebody's like, oh, oak moss, I can't stand the way that smells. It's like you have to smell the product.
Yeah, the way it's in there and working with everything else. It's not necessarily going to be what they don't like. You still have the descriptions you always had, though, right?
Yeah, kinda, yeah. But then I also added in all of the ingredients as well.
Yeah. Did it just become too many people asking for it that it just...
Yeah. So I started just on the new stuff that I'm creating. I kind of add a little bit like, oh, this is going to be kind of a piratey blend with yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of people that get it. They read the description, and they're like, I wasn't too sure because it's got XYZ in it. Then when I got it, it was like blew my mind. Like it's not even close to what I'm like, yep, there you go.
I've noticed that I have to kind of, to some extent, not think about it too much. Everything that's in there, not pick out that one or two things that I'm not sure of. And what does Xerox say here? Lex is the only one I have ever known that has the most exotic scents to make it complex.
Nice.
In fact, I don't know if you still have it on your site, but for the customs where you say if you want burnt rubber band, I'll give it to you. Pretty much anything you want.
I try.
I've got classy. I love that.
Yeah, classy's it's just, the name is perfect, classy. Have you tried vintage?
I did when I first tried your oils. I had
Okay.
1912 vintage and original bastard.
Hmm.
And at the time, loved original. Vintage, as a new user of beard oil products, both vintage and 1912 were a little too advanced for me at that time.
Yeah, you should probably revisit it now. Maybe on when you place an order, I'll throw in a little, put in the notes, I'll put in a little vintage sample for you.
And something I wanted to ask you, I noticed that you added sunflower seed oil to the blend.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is that preamble to maybe something leaving the blend?
What I did is I just reduced the amount of grapeseed oil that I was using, just because of all the haters, like, oh my gosh, so and so said that grapeseed oil is bad. I'm like, no, the certain grapeseed oils are that are chemically expelled, but mine are actually cold pressed, so it makes no damn difference. But tons of people are like, oh, I'm not going to buy your products until you remove grapeseed oil. So I just remove. I like it myself. It works really good for me.
I love it myself.
I reduced it maybe by like 50%, and the sunflower oil took that 50% space, and it just made the blend even better.
I didn't know if that was you moving baby steps towards getting rid of grapeseed.
Nope, still in there.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Kevin. Welcome. And Olderman's here.
Puerto Rico.
Now, Waldemir is from Hawaii, so not quite sure why he's in Puerto Rico tonight. And so for the foreseeable future, grapeseed isn't going anywhere.
Nope. Yep, because like I said, I used cold pressed organic, so it's perfectly fine.
And I think when all the noise started about grapeseed at the time, you mentioned that, if it's not broke, I'm not going to fix it. Everybody loves the feeling beard. Why mess with perfection?
Mm-hmm. I had one customer just swore up and down, grapeseed oil, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. And he wasn't going to place an order, because of the grapeseed oil. Me knowing that my grapeseed oil is organic cold pressed, plus I don't even use nearly, I think I'm using like 9 or 10 different carriers now, and it's very low on my blend list. So I made him 2 samples and I sent them to him on my dime. I'm like, here, try this out. I think it was the barbershop. So I sent him 2 samples, both exactly the same, but I labeled one A and one B, and I told him, let me know which one you like the best. One has grapeseed oil and one doesn't. And so he messaged me back and he's like, oh man, I can barely tell the difference. They both work really well. And I'm like, can I be honest with you? I'm like, I sent you the same exact thing in A and B. And he's like, son of a bitch. So after that, now he's like a big time customer of mine.
Yeah, it's oops. Harley, be quiet. It's a shame. To be honest, even if it's expeller pressed, it's not the worst stuff in the world. I mean,
you'd have to use a lot of it.
Yeah, aren't some grapeseed oils used for cooking expeller pressed?
I think so. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you can eat it, you
can
probably put it on your beard and not have a problem. And that's the expeller pressed The cold pressed is going to be fine. But like I said, I've always loved your oil, and I even love oils where grapeseed is the number one ingredient. And it's a little thin for my taste, but I still love it. And Defined Bastard, I haven't heard of that one yet.
Yeah, I think I've only done that once. Yeah.
Justin said, "Who let the dogs out?" Now, you mentioned you've got a couple dogs yourself.
Yeah, I've got a couple of little Frenchies. They're about a year and a half old. Ricky and Lucy.
Ricky and Lucy, great name or names. In fact, when I got my labs, I didn't realize how. I think of them as small. They're 85 pounds. Where I am, we've got a lot of coyotes, so I always wanted to have dogs that are big enough to defend themselves should they need to. So
I found the Defined on the website. It's not, you can't find it unless you search for it. But this one was cranberry, leather, royal oud, fig leaf, light musk, and then my luxurious twist. And it's been so long, I don't even remember what the luxurious twist is. I'd have to look it up.
In fact, Justin just mentioned it's cranberry leather type scent. I love fruit scents. I love all your fruit scents. One of my favorites is in Sweet Bastard.
Mm-hmm.
In the description, it's like falling face first into a pile of limes. It's pretty accurate. That limey lime zest scent is just terrific.
Yeah.
And I found I'm sorry.
That's an expensive one too, because all of the oils that I use in that, they're all essential oils, organic essential. So sweet orange, I think I use bitter orange, grapefruit, lemon, lime, lemongrass, and I think a little bit of lang lang in there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty expensive one to buy the ingredients to do as well.
And I've got to say, you're the only company I've ever found that can do a citrus scent and get it to last 4 or 5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In fact, the first time I got the custom Sweet Grove, it was sweet oranges with a little orange zest in the background. Mm-hmm. I remembered being worried what I was going to think if it actually lasted 8 hours. Coming from you, I was like, the citrus shouldn't last that long. And it did exactly what I wanted, 4 to 5 hours.
I was going to say about 5 hours.
Yeah. And because anymore with the citrus, you'd have to wonder how's he doing it. In fact, I've been curious. I've heard talk about the FDA getting involved with beard oil. And is that something? I would assume you stay on top of that more than I do.
I'm nowhere near. I'm kind of like a small batch brewery, I'm not. If I was putting my stuff in like Walmart or Target or selling it on Amazon, maybe I would need to worry about all that. But I'm such a small, peon that it doesn't. And I'm never going to get to that level either. I don't want to be. I feel like it cheapens the brand,
Gotcha. Well, I mean, being in Walmart may not be the worst thing in the world. And more people enjoying luxurious bastard.
Mm-hmm. I've had some customers take my business cards and stick them in Walmart and Target where some of the crappy beard products are. Yeah.
Excellent. I used to do the same thing. Well, it's something similar with when I was a member of the NRA, I take my magazines and if I went to the dentist or the doctor's office, I'd mix them in with their magazines just to help spread the word.
Yeah. Dave, any chance to be bringing back the Sleepy Bastard? I got the ingredients to do that one was on a closeout, and again, it was another like organic essential oils. I got them for like 75% off, so I bought all of them, and I don't think it would cost too much to buy the same stuff over again. I might have a little bit left to do like a few customs, but that would be about it.
Have you run into problems where you've got a scent that you love to do, and for whatever reason, the ingredients needed to do it just become unavailable, and it's
The
forever gone?
1912. Yeah,
Really?
the 1912. I was buying one particular ingredient from a company, for since I started really. And I don't remember, maybe a year ago or a little bit over a year ago, I went to order, all the stuff that I needed. And they're like, oh, sorry, we don't carry that anymore. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't carry it anymore? You have to carry it. Like, that's my number one seller. And they're like, nope. And I spent like 3 days on the phone trying to get a hold of different people at this vendor. And finally you know, I wrote an email and spammed everybody. And then finally I had somebody in like upper management, I guess, reach out to me, and they're like, oh, we looked at your website and that's pretty cool. And so we'll talk to our vendor, I guess, wherever they get bulk from, and we might be able to work out something. And so I ended up having to buy it, but I buy it now in like it's like a 7 pound container worth. And I'm the only one that can, they're not going to sell it to the public anymore like that. So, which is kind of cool, means nobody can ever recreate the 1912.
Well, as if they could anyway.
Yeah.
That's a complex scent. And Vado's got a question. He wants to know what the difference is between Sweet Bastard and Sweet Grove.
I would say Sweet Grove is more sweet orange profile, less lime, less lemon, and it does have some cedarwood notes in it, whereas the Sweet Bastard does not. I would say it's more of like a realistic, Orange Grove, really.
And is that still available on the site?
Sweet Grove, I don't think so. I
Okay.
think that one's been out of stock for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, when it first came out, I still had my custom Sweet Grove. So I thought, why get that one when I've still got my custom? But I've since used that all up. So
yeah, right there. Sweet Grove smells like when orchard flowers start to bloom.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll make it again in the summertime because it's a great, it's a great summertime profile.
I think I'm going to go for my Sweet Grove again next time you open up those customs. Yeah. I've still got a little bit of bomb left, just the bottom of the tin that I toss in once in a while. Hi, Nate.
What's going on, Ferocious?
Now, you said that the scent that's coming out is the last of the North series. Are there any of them that you've fallen in love with, and they're going to be making reappearances in the future, or?
I think most of the North stuff I'll probably remake a couple times throughout the year, just because it's that good. Especially Berserker for sure. I mean, it's hard. Everybody loves all of them, but it just kind of depends what I try to like rotate everything. So, most of my staples will be in stock for the most part. And then some of the bangers, I'll try to, rotate those as the demand, calls for it.
Now, the bangers, what do you mean by that? The ones that were in some of these limited?
Just like ones where when I release them, the feedback is crazy. Like people are like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've smelled like out of any fragrances ever of anything."
In fact, just from doing this, I think I've got 3 now that I've got to try. Blackbeard, got to try the regular Sweet Grove, and I think Poseidon. When I bought the last couple, I knew I just wanted to get 2 because I just wanted to review 2, and I think I got down to like 4 and just kind of, kind of just grabbed 2. I couldn't decide between them, and
Yeah.
that was one of the final four. And yeah, I buy so much sometimes you don't want to just keep on spending.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
I chose two, and I didn't like just choosing two, but
I think Poseidon will surprise you, because usually when people are smelling different things, when they get to Poseidon, they're like, "Whoa, that's different."
yeah, and that's still up there, I believe.
Yeah, I think there's some oil. There might be some balm left.
Got it.
Not sure.
And I know earlier Daniel mentioned something about samples. One thing I love about your samples is that it's a true 5 milliliter sample. Yeah, the
Hmm.
average person might get 4 or 5 uses out of that.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
for me, I think I get 2 or 3.
Yeah, I know. Like me, I'm like one bottle.
I try and relax a little bit and get a couple uses out of it. And Gary says Poseidon is very unique.
Hmm. Just message me before you place your order, and I'll you know, buy one thing, and I'll throw in a bunch of samples for you, so that way you can try them out before you have to, make the leap of faith.
Well, in a lot of times it's not. So I know a lot of guys like collecting bottles and having a big display and all that. Not me. I would like to use up every single thing I have. It's impossible, but um, and Irish or Oldemir said dark is must
Oh,
have.
yep. Dark. I just made a fresh batch this week too. Bombs are chilling right now, as well as the butters, and then more oil. So Sunday, I think I'm going to be dropping Original Bastard, Dark, the new one Freya, more 1912, Dark, and there's kind of a few staples that I'm re-upping on. So it'll be a good Sunday drop.
Yeah, I was really happy to see Oudberry dropped.
Hmm. And I
Yeah,
just made some more oils for that too, because the oils sold out right away.
I thought it was the butter that sold out because when I ordered it, I could get the oil, but the butter was sold out.
I made two batches of oils to one
Oh,
batch of
gotcha,
butter.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, because I think the oil sold out sometime Monday-ish, and I was already getting a lot of emails like, "Hey, I want to get a bomb, but there's no oil." So I made another like 30 or 40 oils and just snuck them up onto the site.
And Nate from Ferocious asks, "Have you noticed a drop in bomb sales in favor of butter?"
Oh yeah, yep. There was a reviewer out there that put a video out like, "Oh, bombs are out, butters are in," and after that, unfortunately, bomb sales dropped, and I'm like, maybe that's your preference, but I use oil, butter, and balm. Even having a longer beard, I just like being able to like style the mustache a little bit and push some of these flyaways down.
Yeah,
So,
these flyaways, they are a chore.
hmm so yeah, bombs are down. They're starting to come back a little bit more than they were, but man, there was a minute there where I'd make 45, 50 bombs, and only like 10 would sell, and the butters and the oils would be sold out. And I'm like, okay.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and your butter from has a lot of holes.
Yeah, I think it's the cocoa butter that I use. I adjusted the ratio so there's more cocoa butter to shea butter, and
Got it.
which gives you a little bit of hold.
In fact, if I remember right, there you put a little sticker on it or something. No beeswax on this product.
Hmm.
Is that
Zero
something you still
wax.
do? Yep.
Yep, yep, zero wax. That's why they go straight from the refrigerator into aluminum foil, especially when it starts to get hot. And when I send them out, I always put a sticker on there saying, warning, put these things in the refrigerator or something, because I've had many customers get it all excited and open it up, and it just spills everywhere.
I've gotten close. I get excited. I go to open it up, and whoa,
Yeah, got to chill them
almost
for a
lost
little
that
bit.
one.
Hmm.
So, but I think if I had a shorter beard, I'd be much more into the balms than I am now. With the longer beard, I tend to like the butters just to keep
Mhm.
some natural flow to it.
See, I'm in the daytime. I use more balm, oil, a little bit of butter, and then the balm on top, and that's what I use for styling. Then at night, take a shower, put in a little bit of oil, and then I put in a lot of butter to go to bed. No balm.
Got it. And
Yeah.
I've had occasions where I'm using all three at the same time. I, you know,
Hmm.
I'm not worried about. I tend to not put that an excessive amount of product in my beard, and I never re-up during the day. I put it in
Hmm.
the morning, and that's going to last me until the evening. And so I don't worry about putting too much.
Hmm.
If I feel like a little balm on top of that oil and butter is going to work, it's going in.
Yep. Same here.
Yeah. But what time do we have? We've only got about 4 minutes left. There's a live stream that comes on at 9, and I try and not step on toes and go over and into their slot. But I am very happy that you came on. I was actually a little surprised you said yes. I know you don't do a lot of these, and I thought, well, it doesn't hurt to ask. And I don't know what happened to my picture here. Oh well, I'm a little fuzzy now. Maybe if I close it and open it. I know if I unplug it, it'll snap back in, but I'm not sure I'll come back.
Yeah.
Uh, Al wants to know if you've had any thoughts on making an ostrich blend.
Nah. I mean, I recently made a oil for a guy that wanted a cologne. He wanted me to match some cologne, and I put a little of the ostrich oil in it, but I don't I don't really notice that much of a difference. And plus, I didn't really like the way it made the oil look funny, because it like really hazes it up.
Yep,
And
yep,
I don't know. I'm kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I've had maybe like two people in the last like year say like anything about ostrich oil, so I'm not really worried about it.
yeah,
I already got best feeling beard like 3 years in a row now, so we
yep.
all know
Three
that
years
it
in a row.
works. Yeah.
In fact, someone mentioned that. I think it was Votto with the mic drop. 3 years in a row, best feeling beard.
Hmm.
In fact, I could have sworn I heard you at one point saying when people were talking about the grapeseed oil,
Hmm.
that people love the way it feels now. Why am I going to change it and potentially drive off the people that love my product just the way
Yep.
it is?
Yep.
As far as the bird oil, I do like it from time to time, but it wouldn't be an oil I'd want to use every day.
Mm.
If if I had to pick one oil to use for the rest of my life, and yours wasn't available, the next two, three, four, five I'd think of wouldn't be a bird oil,
Mm.
just because I it doesn't work for me day in day out, all the
Yeah.
time.
Maybe I'll do like one single oil, and try to make it like a very safe profile and just see how it goes. But I
See if
don't
people
see
like it.
making them all like that,
Yeah,
I don't want to spread myself too thin.
yeah,
It's
and I
already
think whoever
hard enough.
mentioned it, they were thinking of maybe just tossing it out there. It'd be unique to have an ostrich blend or emu. Do you have a preference between the two?
No, I've tried them both, and honestly, I can't really tell much of a difference.
Yeah, I there's no way for me to tell. I've tried
Yeah.
companies that make the emu and the ones that make the ostrich, but then you've got the carrier blend in with it. So who knows if the slight difference I'm noticing is because of emu and ostrich, or
Mm.
I've always felt like the ostrich made my beard a little softer, but the emu was a little heavier and styled a little better with it.
Mm.
And Erock says bird oil is the same as regular for me. I did
Yeah.
beard oil straight for a week and didn't notice a difference.
Hmm.
I like it once in a while. But
And I think that the emu and the ostrich, I don't think they'll last as long either, if I'm not mistaken, as far as, breaking down.
I've noticed some brands get a little bit clumpy within a relatively short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
It'll start forming together. Yeah.
Yeah,
In fact,
CBD, I won't be doing any of that snake oil either.
well, I remember trying CBD just because there was a scent I wanted to try, and it happened to be in CBD, and I never noticed a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Aldemir says not that big difference. But we are out of time, and I really do, David, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
This was a real thrill for me. I've been loving your company's products ever since I started using Beard products, and this was a thrill for me. I thought of it like having what's the word? Having a famous actor or something on.
Nah. I'm just a regular dude like everybody else.
You're too modest. But so everyone, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for joining in. How many people came in on the stream? Are you able to tell?
It's hard to tell early.
Mm.
Are
you going to leave this up on the channel?
Oh yes, I always leave it up, and generally, whatever views I got during the stream, it'll double over the next day or two. And yeah, in fact, right now, because it's not ended, it doesn't even show up as my latest video. And even once it does, it'll take a while to show me the largest number of concurrent viewers. But we had about 23 people in at one point.
Cool. So. Well, I'm going to do since you're going to leave it up, and the people that are watching now and the people that will watch it later, I've been doing this thing where I draw a card. That way you can get people you'll see who your hardcore fans are, because if they've made it this far, they will comment in the comment section, king of, I call it puppy feet, but I guess it's a, what is it, spade, or not the spade, the
heart?
No, what's the little puppy feet? I always forget that thing.
Diamond?
With the little three, looks like a puppy foot. Somebody in the comment section, they know what it is,
clubs?
Right? Clubs. There you go. I always draw a blank on that.
But that looks like a red card.
Yeah, king
of clubs.
So comment king of clubs, and I'm going to sign this one. So anybody that's watching this video, the first person to place an order and they say king of clubs, I'll drop this in your order. I know it's just me and it's just a simple little autograph, but I think it's fun just to see who it goes to.
Yeah, definitely. You tempted me to make the order, but I want some time to think about it, because some people name some scents I definitely want to try, and I definitely want another batch of Lux. So with that, we're going to call it a wrap. Thank you again, David. Thank you for everyone that came in, and we'll see you the next time. Sorry that I'm all blurry. I didn't want to abandon you on the live stream. I could have unplugged it to see if it came back.
It's all good.
I'm tempted to do it now, but thank you again, and we'll see you folks next week.
We'll see you next week. I'll see you guys tomorrow.